Guys, how you doing, and welcome to another Warlord Wednesday. And today we're looking at the bolt action Churchill Mk VII created by Warlord Games. Now I've got to say I'm very excited about this because I've got, you know what, when it comes to tanks, the Churchill, the Cromwell and the Sherman are one of my all three of my favourite tanks from the Allied forces, apart from the Matilda. The Matilda's beautiful, and the Leo the Grant. So there's quite a few, to be fair, that I quite like. Okay, but I really like this, and I've got to say I was very excited just being able to open this up. Now, a little background information for those of you that are tankers that know your tanks. If I get anything wrong, please do. I apologise now for you. I'm going to just say it now. I apologise, but it was a heavy infantry tank used in the Second World War. It's best known for its heavy armour, large longitude chassis, and with its all-round tracks and multiple bogies. Basically, there's quite a few different variations of this tank. It was designed by Harland and Wolff and built at the Vauxhall Motors. It sort of came around about 1941, 1945. I think it was about 7,390 or 368, something like that, built. It's just an awesome piece of kit. Now, the origins of the design lay in the expectations that the war in Europe might be fought to similar conditions of that of the First World War, hence having the long chassis so it could get over the trenches and stuff like that. It's just an awesome piece of kit. Now, it was used by the United Kingdom, Soviets, the Canadian forces, Polish, and also the Irish, or Ireland, sorry I should say. And it's just something, I don't know, it's just something quite exciting about it. I mean, you know, there was quite a few variations of it, which was quite exciting. Like some had a howitzer, some had like a big gun. So, you know, it's kind of cool. Now you get with it a guy that's your commander, tank commander. I mean, even this, it just looks so cool. I mean, you can even base your paint job up on this. Now, I'm definitely going to have a bit of fun with this. It was used in the later months here in Africa, which is pretty cool because I'm kind of tempted to build a British African army sort of thing out in Africa, and it gives you loads of great information as usual down the side. Now please pop over to the Warlord website, check that out, because if you're looking to build a British force, you can't go wrong with a Churchill. So why don't we open this bad boy up and see what it looks like in the inside. So I'm going to see you in a second. Hi guys, and welcome back. So here we have our unboxing. Now, what do you get in here? Well, you get a lovely little letter from Warlord Games. It says, thanks for purchasing this Warlord Games kit, and then there's information all about how to clean up the resin, what best to do with it, and things that you need to know when using resin. And there's also, this is not a toy. So it's not suitable for kids under the age of 15. Okay, so here we have our main tank. We'll start off with this first. Within the inside of here we have some hatches, we have a barrel, we have these two nifty little side pieces. I still don't know what they're for, but I'll find out at some point. A track and some other little bits and pieces in there that stick onto the tank. And we get our guns as well, which is kind of cool. We have our little tank commander, who is again very detailed. Now you can do all sorts of this. Now I've actually given him legs and he's sitting down in my one, his feet dangling into the turret, so we're going to have a look at that in a second. We get our left and right tracks. Now the great thing about these are they're really detailed. Now somebody said to me, yeah, but aren't they all just blocked in and stuff like that? Well, you can have a look for yourself. There are gaps in there. There you go. And if you were super cool and really finicky, you could actually file out some more gaps as well if you really need to. But you can see all the little suspension in there, which is all the way along the side there. And then you've got your wheels, and you've even got things like tow cables that go along the side. Here we have like an oil can, a container for storing fuel or oils, and then we have, oh, it's a jerry can to be fair, but then we have here little what seems to be ammo containers on the back. Now if I can get that just to focus for a second because it's being very awkward. There we go. Little ammo containers on the back, and again the track's really detailed as well. which really makes it quite cool. And then we've got a little mud guard here that goes around the front. So let's look at the main hull now. So here we have the main hull. I've got to say, again, lots of stuff going on it, lots of detail. We have on the back little tow bars, little connector points there and there. We've got like a little box thing on the back now, kind of hoping that's the telephone. I don't know if these tanks had telephones in the back, but some of them, or some of the other tanks, started putting phones in the back, so infantry could talk to the tank commander. We have our exhaust pipes, which are just there. A couple of shovels. Now you can take those off or you can leave them on, it's completely up to you. Loads of hatches where the engine compartment is, and then we have some hatches at the front there for where the driver and the gunner sit. And as you can see, the gunner sits just here and the driver sits there. There's also some hatches on the side as well, and I assume that they're there for the driver and the gunner to get out as well, which is pretty cool. Now we have our turret section, and the great thing about this is you do not need to stick it down. It just fits in nicely. It's totally up to you. I mean, I do it for packing wise. I don't bother sticking them down. But the nice thing about this is, again, very detailed. And if you're clever, you can cut that out or drill that section out and create your own hatches and have another guy in there, which makes it really, really nice. And then the final piece, which just goes on the back there, which is a container or box that fits on the back. I'm not too sure what it is, but that's what I'm assuming it is, which is quite cool. So all in all, it's really, really lovely. So why don't we have a look at this all painted up so we can get our own impression of what it could look like. Okay guys, see you in a second. Howdy guys, and welcome back, and here we have our beautiful, beautiful Churchill Mk VII all painted up. Now I've used the MiG ammo colours for this, and I've got to say they come out beautifully. It is such an awesome tank to paint. It kind of gives me little chills to know that, you know, this thing was as tough as old boots. It could withstand all sorts of punishment, and not only that, it gave the Tiger a run for its money. And whenever we hear stories about World War II tank battles, we always sort of sit back in fear of listening to how mighty the Tiger was. But actually, this guy gave it a run for its money. So let's have a look at it. It's absolutely gorgeous once it's finished and painted up. Again, like I said, I tend to not, I didn't even paint the underneath because I don't need to. I tend not to magnetise, or I tend not to glue these in, because it helps when I'm packing them. I tend to pack them with turrets off the tanks, just so they're protected basically. Now what I like about this tank is there is just so much detail to it that actually as you start to paint it, it starts to pop, and you realise that you've got something rather exciting, and there's so much you can do to it. Like for example, on the next one I may get rid of the spades on the back and put other things on there instead. Somebody said to me, I think it was Kev, said to me, where's your signature things or hanging off the side of your tanks? Well, I'm not doing that for the British. I'm doing it, well, I've done it for the Cromwells, but I'm not doing it for the Churchills, because there's just something magnificent and mighty about them. Let's have a look at the turret as well as we put this beast down, and it is a very long tank. So the turret, there is so much you can do to these to make them stand out, and there's so many different things you can do to make them different from everybody else's. So if we take a look, here's the standard turret, there's my turret, and as you can see, the camera's blowing it out now, as you can see, they're completely different in the way that I've cut away the hatch. So if we spin it around there, now I've cut that hatch out by drilling it and sunk it quite deep, down to about where my thumb is, so that gives it the depth. And what I've done is recreated the hatches, as you can see on the side there, with some plastic card, and they've come out quite nicely, and you just glue them in. Now obviously the tank commander only comes with half a body. His legs have been replaced with the legs from a British driver, from a Jeep, and his upper body is the tank commander. So with a little bit of dressing, a little bit of glue and some green stuff, you can do some amazing things. So go check out this tank. It is absolutely gorgeous. If you're thinking about fielding a nice heavy tank for your British Army, you can't go wrong with the beautiful Churchill. So guys, you be good, you be safe, and I'm going to see you very, very soon. You take care.